Hello everyone, let's take a look at Iron Explained, the best sources of iron, and we're going to check out what is the difference between heme and non-heme iron. Iron is a mineral that is abundant on Earth. We require it in our diets as a result from the types of food that we eat. In this video, we will explore the functions, sources, and types of iron. Let's get into it. So the main function of iron in humans is that it is an essential component of our blood. Binding it, we call this a hemoglobin, in which oxygen molecules bind to this. It is in the red blood cell and makes up 70% iron in our body. Now, humans need iron to process food into energy or ATP. In addition, iron is needed for oxygen transport. Too much iron can be toxic as it produces hydrogen peroxide and free radicals. Free radicals can cause a multitude of damage to your body cells. Here's a graph demonstrating the absorbed iron and the adequacy of absorption. Men and women differ, and females can absorb a larger range. Iron is transported through your stomach to blood system via basolateral membrane. When you have low iron in your body, the system looks something like the top chart. When you have high iron, in the bottom here we see your liver processes and releases signaling molecules to inhibit iron transport. We have to make sure how much iron is needed for our bodies, not too little and not too much. The risk of low iron is called anemia, where there is associated dietary deficiencies, inflammation and infection risk, and genetic abnormalities, leading eventually to metabolic or acute coronary syndrome. On the other hand, iron overload can be hereditary as a genetic mutation that may amplify the iron load, which may lead to chronic liver disease due to this constant stress and metabolic syndrome. So what is the optimal type of iron? There are two types of iron. Heme, found in tissues, muscle, and blood of the animals that we eat. This is a pork blood soup here, or steak, whereas non-heme is found in plants, beans, legumes, grains, nuts, seeds, vegetables, and fruits. The types of iron that we can consume can either help or hinder our health. A study published by the Nutrition Reviews looked at consumption of cow's milk as a cause of iron deficiency in infants and toddlers. As toddlers grow, they need iron but lack in their traditional diets, which can be a risky combination. Iron storages become depleted at the ages between 4 to 6 months, whereas this dietary iron is the key source of the diet. Iron fortification through cereals, milks, and baby products are a popular choice to supplement this iron in their diets. Casein and calcium are large players in toddlers' diets as well, which can come from cow's milk. The casein and calcium both block the absorption of iron and can have adverse effects on the child. Their stool samples were studied from this review here, and it showed that the iron was being excreted with the inclusion of cow's milk, showing the blockage and therefore the damaging effects of cow's milk in reference to iron absorption. The consumption of cow's milk leaves the toddler at serious risk for dehydration, this study suggests. As well, the study looked at toddlers consuming cow's milk also has an increased chance of obesity later on in life. If you do need to drink cow's milk or dairy products, do so in a modest amount. Now, heme and non-heme iron sources are weighed in for their health impacts, with non-heme being the favored, best suited for human consumption through its iron absorption. Here is a list of the type of food containing iron, which is a non-heme or plant-based source. This table is compiled regarding its flavor, price, availability, and adaptability to your favorite diets. Now, first one we have is tofu and soy products, which are a variety of tastes and textures, weighing in at over 15 grams per 100 gram serving. Next one up is tempeh, a pressed and fermented soybean cake. We also have our varieties of lentils, beans, and legumes. Peanut butter and peanuts. These are pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, almonds, cashew nuts, as well as sesame seeds and tahini paste, collard greens. We have adzuki beans and pinto beans, rounding off our list for top iron absorbed non-heme iron source of food. Now that was our iron explained, the best sources of heme versus non-heme iron sources. Some of the potential reasons why you should favor non-heme and shy away from heme iron. I'm going to check out Dr. Greger's video on exactly this, the mechanisms going on, and its impact for our health. Let's check it out.
It is commonly thought that those who eat plant-based diets may be more prone to iron deficiency, but it turns out they're no more likely to suffer from iron deficiency anemia than anybody else. This may be because not only do those eating meat-free diets tend to get more fiber, magnesium, vitamins A, C, and E, but also get more iron. But the iron found in plants is non-heme iron. Those eating meat-free diets don't get much of the heme iron found in blood and muscle, which may be a good thing. The avoidance of heme iron may be one of the key elements of plant-based protection against metabolic syndrome, may also be beneficial in lowering heart disease risk. The link between iron intake and coronary heart disease has been contentiously debated, but the inconsistency of the evidence may be because the majority of total dietary iron comes mostly from plants, and so total iron intake is associated with lower heart disease risk. But if you just look at iron intake from meat, it's associated with significantly higher risk for heart disease. This is thought to be because iron can act as a pro-oxidant, contributing to the development of atherosclerosis by oxidizing cholesterol with free radicals. The risk has been quantified as a 27% increase in coronary heart disease risk for every 1 milligram of heme iron consumed daily. The same has been found for stroke risk. The studies on iron intake and stroke had conflicting results, but maybe because they'd never separated out heme from non-heme iron until this study, which found that the intake of meat iron, but not plant iron, was associated with increased risk of stroke as well as diabetes. Higher animal iron intake significantly associated with greater risk of type 2 diabetes, but not total or plant iron. 16% increase in risk for every daily milligram of heme iron consumed, and the same for cancer, with up to 12% increased risk for every milligram of daily heme iron exposure. In fact, you can actually tell how much meat someone is eating by looking at their tumors. To characterize the mechanisms underlying meat-related lung cancer development, they asked lung cancer patients how much meat they ate, and examined the gene expression patterns in their tumors, and identified a signature pattern of heme-related gene expression. Though they just looked at the lung cancer, they expect these meat-related gene expression changes may occur in other cancers as well. We do need to get enough iron, but only about 3% of premenopausal white women have iron deficiency anemia these days. However, the rates are worse for African and Mexican Americans. Taking our leading killers into account, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, the healthiest source of iron, right? It appears to be non-heme iron, right? Found naturally in abundance in whole grains, beans, split peas, chickpeas, and lentils, dark green leafy vegetables, dried fruits, and nuts and seeds. But how much money can be made on beans? So the industry came up with a blood-based crisp bread made out of rye and cattle and pig blood, one of the most concentrated sources of heme iron, about 2/3 more than chicken blood. Now, if blood-based crackers don't sound particularly appetizing, no worries. There's also cow blood cookies, and blood-filled biscuits. The filling ends up a dark-colored, chocolate-flavored paste with a very pleasant taste, dark-colored because spray-dried pig blood can have a darkening effect on the food product's color. But the worry is not the color or taste, it's the heme iron, which, because of its potential cancer risk, is not considered safe to add to foods intended for the general population.
Thanks so much, guys, for watching my video on heme versus non-heme iron sources. Check out my website, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts at The Vegan Food Scientist, and enjoy my other vegan-filled YouTube channel. Now you guys can check out Dr. Greger's nutritionfacts.org as well. I hope you guys have a great day, and keep it vegan, y'all.